Well, good morning again, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from beautiful, cloudy San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Excited for this lovely, lovely day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's begin the discourse designed to create pain enough that you choose to take this revelation that you will receive this morning and take massive action moving towards who you can become in this life. If you were a GPS, would we get lost? If you were a GPS, would we get lost? You know, coaching at the number one Keller Williams office in the entire world here in lovely San Antonio, Texas, comes with some incredible responsibilities and even greater honors and privileges. One of those privileges is the ability to be in the mind of folks who have literally just set foot in the door for the first time, and those who, are closing 60, 70, 80 million dollars a year with large teams. Being able to be part of these conversations, you're able to gather a lot of data that can be applicable to any area of life. And it's my desire to share that with you today. If you were a GPS, would we get lost? If you were a GPS, would we get lost? What does that mean? If you had a team of people, let's say 10 of them, that got up when you got up, that did what you did in the morning, your morning routine, that went to work with the energy you go to work with, that showed up at work the way you show up at work, and did what you did at the intensity level that you did at work. Let's say they matched your effort identically. Would you have a rock star team, or would you all be broke before you know it? This is the question that I want to ask. If you were a GPS, would we get lost? There's a bold law that's discussed in this bold class that's taught through Keller Williams, and one of these bold laws, and all of these bold laws really are based on timeless truths and principles. They've been rebranded and remanufactured to be delivered in a way that's more palatable to a human being in our day and age. And one of those laws is this: clarity is power. Clarity is power. I had the privilege of meeting with some folks yesterday who are in the early beginning stages of coming together in the development of what will be a phenomenal organization. And the key element, the number one frustrating factor that could not be identified until yesterday was simply this: there was no clear vision that others could unify and build themselves around. The clear vision. You see, you can use a GPS if you're going somewhere. Let's say you're traveling from San Antonio to Dallas. Well, it's good to know where you're going in the first place. Most people in their lives don't know where they're going in the first place. They're so caught up in a routine and a habit that there is no clear destination because they do not have clear written goals. That is not a problem if you enjoy being labeled a wandering generality. Zig Ziglar said, you are one of two people. You are either a wandering generality or you are a meaningful specific. Either you have a very clear plan for your life, or someone who does have a very clear plan has made you part of their life. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing. That can be a great thing when their vision for you exceeds your vision for you, and they can lift you up. And if your vision ever becomes greater for yourself than they have for you, then you get up and go to the next opportunity. So in discoursing this morning, if you were a GPS, would we get lost? Like, do you even know where you're going? Do you even have a clue? If you were traveling from San Antonio to Dallas in a GPS and you were supposed to go to a specific location, what would happen if you just, let me give you the notches up. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm going to get in a car. That's how most people are living these days. Number two, well, I know I'm going to be going north. All right, that's real good. We might wind up in Alaska. I don't know. We might wind up in Bernie or New Braunfels, something. That's a little bit better. We are going to Dallas. Okay, great. Now we're getting warmer. We're getting warmer. You could put Dallas in your GPS, and then you could still spend the rest of your life trying to find that specific address. You could even get it as close to finding the street name. That'd be even better. But what is best is I am going to 723 Alameda Avenue, Dallas, Texas, 78774. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a clear address, a clear direction. So my question for you this morning, if you were a GPS, would we get lost? Do you know where you are going? Are you very clear? Is it written down? Is it transcribed in such great detail that if you were to read it to somebody, it would read like a Shakespearean story with all of the rich details and adjectives connected to your ability to cast that vision? You see, the one who has a very clear vision and acts on it daily has the greatest chance of surrounding themselves with others who connect with that vision. Lack of vision, people die, man. Ain't nobody know where nobody's going. If you were a GPS, would we be going someplace magnificent? Would we be going someplace beautiful? Would we be going someplace that's going to be an amazing place for us to think about, that's going to create great memories? If we were following you, would we wind up somewhere beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, noteworthy? Or if we followed you, would we be like lemmings, just moving and going nowhere, ultimately ending up on the end of a cliff, falling off into nothingness? If you were a GPS, would we get lost? If you were a GPS, would it take us to a beautiful place? If you don't know and you're not clear, well then, my friend, you're a wandering generality. Today, you have the opportunity to become a meaningful specific by getting very clear on where it is you are going, by getting very clear on the written goals. Write that vision and make it plain so that those that hear and read it may run with it. If others were running with you, would anybody know where we were going? If you can't answer well, then I challenge you today. Think about where you're headed. Movement is not achievement. Just because you're moving don't mean you're making progress. Ask the hamster in the hamster wheel. Movement is not achievement. If you were a GPS, would we all get lost? Would we wind up in a God only knows where place? Only you can answer the question. I hope you think about it today. Have a great day, guys.